Authorities are investigating a devastating, tragic fire that ravaged this New York City complex in the Bronx, leaving 17 people, including 8 children, dead. Over 200 firefighters responded to battle that blaze. They smashed windows, put up ladders to save the trapped residents, and one of them spoke with ABC News today. Let's listen to that.
You felt like you couldn't try to take the stairs down.
There's no way to exit. A lot of things happen to my mind, so I can't jump. It's crazy.
And New York Democratic Congressman Ritchie Torres, who represents the Bronx, is joining us now. Congressman Torres, thanks very much for being with us on this very tough day. You represent that district, of course, where this tragedy occurred. There's a lot of questions now surging about the cause of this fire. We do know authorities said it was started by a space heater on the 3rd floor. So what can you tell us about the latest on the investigation?
Well, we know the fire originated from a malfunctioning space heater in a duplex on the 3rd floor of a high-rise building, Twin Parks Northwest. And even though the fire was largely limited to the 3rd floor, both the apartment door and the stairwell door were left open, causing the smoke to spread widely and rapidly throughout the building. And so since the building has no fire escapes, and since the stairwells were full of smoke, the tenants had no means of escape. And so there were tenants who became seriously ill, and some of them even died from severe smoke inhalation, from cardiac and respiratory arrest. So the lessons learned here are twofold. One, be careful with these space heaters, which can be an extreme fire hazard. Heating fires are the second most common category of fires in homes, second only to cooking fires, and more than 80% of heating home fires involve the use of space heaters, so people should be extremely careful with them. Just as importantly, close the door. If you close the door, it will prevent the spread of the fire. Now, these doors were supposed to be self-closing, and so why were these doors left open? And that's the unanswered question at the heart of the investigation.
And Congressman, it does sound like that would not comply with fire codes. I know you're a federal official, but is that the concern, that open doors like that should be closed according to the city fire codes?
Well, I was formerly a New York City council member. When I was in the council, we passed a law that requires every door to be self-closing by the end of 2021. The property owner claims that the doors generally were self-closing, so there was a malfunction on the part of these doors, and we hope to learn more from the findings of the fire marshal's investigation.
And I know that both you and Senator Chuck Schumer have pledged federal assistance for the victims here. You know, as a U.S. congressman, and you had a lot of national issues, some of our biggest debates, and here is this terrible tragedy happening in your district. What's your role here? What would federal aid look like? Well, what has your day been like since this happened overnight?
Well, I've spent most of my time with the victims at the service center, but there is a role for the federal government to play. Twin Parks Northwest is a federally subsidized project-based Section 8 development. And we at the federal level have to ensure that affordable housing has 21st century standards of fire safety. These buildings date back to the 1970s. We have buildings in the Bronx that predate World War I, and not every building has a sprinkler system. Not every building has a functioning smoke alarm or fire alarm system. Not every building has self-closing doors or safety knobs on their stoves. And so this should serve as a wake-up call that the federal government must do more to bring housing into the 21st century. Because the Bronx is no stranger to deadly fires. We have a long history of deadly fires arising from housing conditions.
And that sounds like the shirtwaist fire, 100 years and more ago in New York City, which led to so many federal and local rules protecting workplaces. Do you see this tragedy perhaps as an inspiration, a silver lining out of this dark cloud, to make sure that something like this never happens again?
Look, my greatest hope is that we can ensure that the lessons learned from tragedy, both present and past, translates into laws that prevent tragedy in the future. And so I'm collaborating closely with my colleagues at the state and local level to examine what policies can be put in place to fundamentally improve fire safety in our residential homes, because people are entitled to safe, decent, affordable housing, which includes fire safety.
Absolutely. New York Congressman Ritchie Torres, representing the Bronx, thank you very much for being with us on this difficult day. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.